Now in the question number 8, we have to differentiate between the following terms we have given. So innate immunity and acquired immunity are the first one. We have to differentiate between innate and acquired immunity. Alright, so what is innate immunity and what is acquired immunity? We know that innate immunity is the immunity which is inherited from parents, and acquired immunity is not inherited from parents, it is acquired during the lifetime after birth. The most important thing about these two is that innate immunity is the non-specific to pathogen. Innate immunity is non-specific to pathogen, whereas the acquired immunity is specific to pathogen. If you talk about the example, then stomach acid such as HCl and the skin are examples of innate immunity, which is inherited from the parents and is not acquired during lifetime. And if you talk about example of acquired immunity, then antibodies, the antibodies which we take from outside or acquire during the lifetime by entering of pathogen into our body. The production of these kind of antibodies are the example of acquired immunity. So this is the difference between innate and acquired immunity. So let's write the differences between innate and acquired immunity. In the left column we are going to write about innate immunity, and in the right column we are going to talk about acquired immunity, right? Now let's talk about what is the difference between these two. The first point we are taking is it is non-specific. It is non-specific to pathogens. It is non-specific to pathogens, whereas this is specific. This is specific to pathogen, right? Now, this innate immunity is actually inherited from the parents. The immunity which is inherited from the parents is termed as innate immunity, whereas this kind of immunity, that is acquired immunity, is acquired during the lifetime after birth by entering the specific pathogen into body, right? Now if we talk about the example of innate immunity, we have stomach acid, that is HCl. Stomach acid is the example of innate immunity. Then we have skin as an example of innate immunity, whereas the example of acquired immunity is antibodies produced by entering a specific kind of pathogen into your body. This is the example of acquired immunity, and we have completed the difference between innate immunity and acquired immunity. Now let's come towards the next part, that is B part of the same question, that is we have to differentiate between active and passive immunity. So now we are going to talk about the differences between active immunity and passive immunity. What is active immunity and what is passive immunity? First of all, the active immunity is long lasting, is having long lasting effects, whereas passive immunity does not have long lasting effects, right? Now, if we talk about the active and passive immunity, here in the left column we are going to discuss about active immunity, and here we are going to talk about passive immunity, right? In active immunity, it have long lasting effects. It have long lasting effects. Which one? Active immunity have long lasting effects, whereas if we talk about the passive immunity, it does not have. It does not have the long lasting effects. Long lasting effects. Right? Now, the second point to differentiate these two is this immunity, active immunity is produced, the antibodies actually in this immunity, the antibodies against any pathogen produced in the body itself. Produced in the body itself, right? And whereas if we talk about in the passive immunity, the antibodies are taken from the outside. The body is not going to make the antibodies. So antibodies in the passive immunity are taken from outside, right? So this is the difference between active immunity and passive immunity. Then if we talk about the example, then antibodies and IgG are the examples for active immunity and passive immunity. So with this we have completed the solution for question number 8.